going to see how to create a notebook for the use in education, learning, and portfolio management. You click on the Create New button once you have registered. You arrive at this page. You can upload your resources, which can be any file in Google Doc, PDF, it can be a website, YouTube channel, or just plain text. So here I'm just going to choose a file, and here's a nice PDF paper. I'm going to upload that, and this talks about electronic portfolios, and here you can see it is uploading that paper. If it is not in the appropriate format, it's going to reject this, and here I think it would reject because this is not this is a PDF, so it should not reject. Word documents will get rejected, therefore you should convert it to PDF or Google Docs. So once it is uploaded, it will now be added as a resource on this side of the column. In the middle is where you will be chatting with it. This will be the chatbot, which you would therefore be interrogating, understanding, learning, summarizing with all the materials that you have uploaded here. On this side, you can create what is known as a deep dive conversation. Once you have sufficient material here, you want to get a podcast summary of the materials that you have uploaded, you would then generate it here. You can add notes here. And so one of the various other functionalities is you can question it, get some answers, and say a summary, and you can then make that into a note, and it will then reside here. You can get the overview from the audio here, and you can create mind maps, which then can be also will be stored here, so you don't have to come back and create a new mind map at every time. The other advantage is you can also discover sources. So here I can go get it to, I'm going to put here electronic portfolios, and get it to search the internet for resources, and then choose the one that are reliable, valid, like peer-reviewed academic papers, and upload. Here you are. We've got all this already. So everything looks okay for me. I'm going to import them. So these are all being imported. So you can see that most of them, maybe the Reddit, I may want to remove it, but we'll see. So these are the various things. If the format is not agreeable, it will be rejected. You just delete it because it's very strict about format. And here you can see the electronic portfolio and learner engagement has come in. These two are not recognized because they're highlighted red. I'm going to remove from the source because the format may not be acceptable. So we just remove from the source, and now we have a notebook on electronic portfolio ready. So let's ask them, what are portfolios? And you can see that it is now going to use only these documents. It doesn't go to the internet. It only uses this. So this is very useful. So you just want a set of data set that is specific for your learning, for your needs, your research, whatsoever. So here you already have this. So I think I quite like that. And I'm going to save that to a note. And so you see the note has been saved. So I'm pretty impressed with that. And so I'm just going to refresh that. Yeah, and then I'm going to create a mind map. So it's now going on to create a mind map, and while that's going on, I'm just going to let it generate a conversation based on the 9 sources. Here you are. The mind map, it should be ready. Not yet. So it takes a while. So you can see, therefore, this is a very useful tool for your learning. It is a companion. It can be an intelligent tutoring system, and I can even ask it a few questions. Test me on my knowledge in portfolios. Notice the spellings don't have to be correct. This is an AI, understands what you're talking about. So you can provide a certain so knowledge on portfolios. Okay, so here is giving me about a summary on portfolios. So it talks about e-portfolios. So pretty impressive amount based on the document. And so I'm going to ask it, test me with some MCQs. So this is now going to provide formative assessment of your knowledge base. You can even ask it to create a lesson on electronic portfolios. So here you can see the test, the MCQs have come up with an answer. And I'm going to ask it create a lesson for portfolios. And here you can see that the lesson plan would be, the lesson would be created. And so it can become your own personal tutor. You can sit and chat with it. At the moment, there is no audio functionality. You can't have conversation with it by audio files and it speaks back. And that is available on ChatGPT. We will look at that in a different video. Right, so you can see now that the podcast has been created. So what is done is taken all these resource material, and there's two people going to have a conversation about the summary of the whole topic.
You know that feeling when you're just buried under information on something and you just wish someone could, I don't know, cut through the noise and tell you what actually matters.
Yeah, get straight to the point.
Exactly. And that's what we do here. We take all the sources, articles, research, notes, whatever you've got.
Creativity in how they present it. Problem solving when the tech gets tricky. One source even pointed out that just building a web-based portfolio demonstrates technical skills employers might look for.
That's a very direct, tangible outcome.
So you can see that it's a very useful tool to summarize, and podcasts are quite useful as learning when you're traveling, where you can't be reading or driving a car. You can listen to the content. And here you can see how the mind map has been created. Here you are. You can see a beautiful mind map. And so if you're looking at some of the topics, say selecting an e-portfolio system, it then goes in to start creating the document that you can then read about it through the mind map. So it's an efficient way of creating and reviewing your material. Here you are. You can see how powerful that is. And now here I'm going to ask it to create a lesson on e-portfolios. And this is then going to take the material from the 9 resources here and create your lesson plan. And we can ask it to test me on my knowledge with MCQs. So here you can see the lesson plan has come up quite nicely. Not just the lesson plan with learning objectives, but the content, and you can then proceed from there. Let's see what it does when we ask it to create a formative assessment with the multiple choice questions, and it comes up with that. So you can see that the role of the NotebookLM as a knowledge management system, based on that, the data set that you have put in provides it like it's a retrieval augmented generative chatbot. It doesn't go outside of this area. So I hope you found that useful and enjoy using NotebookLM as your companion learning buddy on your educational journey. Thank you and good luck.